Alright guys, if you're just joining, just give me just a couple seconds to get started. Just getting some links out there. Some chats up. Hey Laz, yeah, definitely do those rats until level 28 and then hit the wastelands. Ooh, it's cold here in New York. Got my I'm not a coffee drinker, but I made some hot chocolate to keep me warm. So I'll be sipping on that. Let me get one more link out to another channel. All right, so yeah, so I am don't have many people watching right now, but let me just put into see if anybody else hops on, but just gonna do a few side quests today. I got to level 39 just a bit ago. I got to see if the main quest, I don't remember if that continues or not, but it did unlock either level 38 or 39, did unlock some side quests. If it was me, Lowe's, I would do 2 accounts. It's no big deal to go and get a second Gmail account. A little bit more of a hassle to change accounts, but then you can play them both at the same time if you ever want to. Different devices. Hey Nando. So yeah, it can definitely be a little bit easier to switch accounts. I found the best way to switch accounts is to let's say you're using your Google account. All I do when I need to switch Gmail accounts is click on login with Apple, and then when it says to accept the terms and conditions, I just say refuse. And then when I click on login with Google again, it will allow me to select another account. So I know I've got to do the snakes daily real quick, and then up at Bell's Pit's Folly, there's a new side quest. And then I've got to check out the main quest to see if it now continues now that I'm level 38. I'm not sure if it does or not. Did get, I think, one new piece of equipment, and that was this circlet, which is pretty good. I've actually got this, no, not that one, this one waiting until I'm level 42, but actually I may not even use that. Maybe it's this one. No, I thought this was an upgrade. It is an armor, but not in anything else, so I probably won't have actually use that one. No, definitely customize it yourself, I think. Learn what's good for your class. Most classes go more weapon skill than anything else, but it does depend on the class. A lot of classes don't put a lot of points in leadership, and then a lot depends on what you get. And then, like, I don't put any in initiative. So if we look at my stats, you know, I didn't start out this way. It changed, but I basically ended up with like a 3-1-1-1 type of scenario. So you get 6 skill points per level. I ended up with putting 3 in weapon skill, 1 in accuracy, 1 in wounds, 1 in focus. But it wasn't balanced like that the whole way. I've just started to put stuff into wounds the last 2 levels, really getting my health up. And and I only started putting it into focus like around level 24 maybe, but not a lot. But really always was trying to max weapon skill. Now weapon skills tailed off a little bit. I'm a little bit behind. One thing that's for sure, my weapon is way behind. I've got a level 28 blue weapon, so way behind on damage. Still doing fine, but at level 40 I have a blue weapon waiting, so that's why I haven't been too big into upgrading. Just killing these snakes to do this quick quest. So Nanda, what class are you playing? Lowe said he was level 27, still fighting the rats to get to 28. He was playing Shadow Warrior, which Shadow Warrior with bow spec or swords. Either way, I don't think you can go wrong with those classes. Yeah, one thing I wish I would have done, honestly, is chosen what another class will be that I eventually level. And if you're only level 27 lows, I would suggest doing this. Choose whatever class you're going to level next, make it, and any gear you get along the path, leveling your first character for that class, just start to mail it to that class. Doesn't matter if it's gray gear or what. You know what the grind is like. Better to just have a bank full of gear for that class. And hell, if you plan on eventually leveling a bunch of classes, go and make accounts for every single class. And make the names easy to remember or write them down and just start mailing those accounts gear. That way, and what you want to do is, now I think you have to, within 30 days, you have to claim it. So you'll have to think about that or it gets sent back to you, I think. But you could probably just resend it again, to be honest. I think, yeah, if it's your secondary stat. I'm not an expert on Shadow Warrior. Definitely a lot. If you go to Discord, a lot of people will help there. A lot of, if you ask what the standard stat build is, they would say. I'm not sure if Shadow Warriors are going with a lot of initiative these days or not. The formula has been updated to where it definitely was not as effective as it was a couple builds ago. One of the things I want to talk about during this stream, and I'm probably only going to be streaming for like an hour or so, late start. Definitely not going to try and hit 40 or anything on this stream. Just going to do these quests and then go back to grinding somewhere. Maybe we'll get lucky and catch a name mob up or something. I'm healing for about 3k now. And I did put a couple of points into Penitent Strike. Decided to try it out again. We'll see. A lot of people are saying that the faith isn't working, so we'll test that out a little bit. It's always hard to tell with some of these skills, if they're working as intended or not, because the range is so big. I mean, you look at this range, 1989 to 3126, so it's got over 1,000 point range and damage. So it's really hard to tell if a skill is completely working. But if I hit it with no faith, I'm hitting for 1624 on this snake. Now I got one faith. I'll use it on the next snake maybe. Don't want to wait around too long. Now I got 2 faith. Now I got 3 faith. So let's hit it with this one with a 3 faith. So a 3347. I don't know. It seems like it's working. Let's hit it with, wait for this refresh, we'll hit it with 1 faith again. So 2302. Now 3 faith is supposed to get, but see, you can't tell because it's such a big range. I think I finished. Did I finish both of these quests already? Yeah. Let's go turn these in. Nando, what do you mean Doom is effing with you? Just don't quite understand how it works, or just not working, or what? Interesting. Only 7 people watching right now. Don't know if interest is already dying down in the game, or people are just busy, or take a little while for more people to jump on the stream, or what. So that quest has given me about 2,400 experience now. Not great. Alright, so this guy Jacob has a new quest. How can I help? 13,000 experience. You already quit, Chi? Why is that? Just got bored with it? Didn't like the grind, didn't like the bugs? What, definitely interested to know what made you quit. Yeah, so I thought the main quest would continue once I got to 39, but I guess not. So I'm done with the main quest. So I may only have this one quest to do. Hopefully it continues after this, but kind of unlikely. Yeah, I agree. The game does have potential. I think game's been out a week. I'd like to see out of VR. I'd like to see. Oh, what are these? These are just turn-ins. I don't really understand this quest. Okay, that's it. That was the whole quest. Come talk to these guys and get 15,000 experience. Yeah, I mean that's why I definitely agree with that. I mean I played a little bit differently. You see me in my streams. I really try and move around. Now, with that said, there's times when I haven't been streaming that I have been grinding a little bit. But even then, I get bored and I move around and try and kill new stuff. And when I'm questing, I'm not going from mob to mob to mob. But yeah, I do think that the next 6 months will be very telling on the game as far as, are they coming out with new content? What's the game look like as far as bugs go, interface goes, group play goes, all that stuff after the first couple of months, and then what content are they coming out with? As long as they can add content very, I don't want to say, I don't want to fight that guy really. No, I don't want to say the word rapidly, but in a timely manner, I think this game has a lot of potential to be a great game on mobile. But there's some definite problems with the game right now, from the UI we've talked about, the potential lack of things to do. Although, you know, I don't know. I mean, you figure there's games out there like Candy Crush and stuff like that where people are doing the exact same thing over and over. You know, there's games like old games like Tetris that kept people's attention for hours and hours, where you're really doing the same thing over and over. Um, I guess you either like that kind of gaming or you don't. But I mean, this is really not that much different than that, except it's a more visual appealing. Yeah, but I see what you're saying about mounts, but the danger of travel is part of the experience. If they had mounts and you could just run by everything, like some games, you wouldn't be having the same experience. Whether you find that experience good or bad, and it's your play style or not, the fact does remain your experience would be different if there was mounts in this game. Just like it'd be very different if there was auto combat and auto pathing and things of that nature. By the time you get through the zones, you know those zones inside and out. You know them intimately, and that to me is the bread and butter of a classic MMO versus some of the new ones that really just auto level you a lot of times to the max level, and then it's just one paywall after another to keep you up at the top of the peak. I'd say there's some times where this game requires strategy, but yeah, not a ton. They definitely, in some ways, could have even made it harder. But if you look at a lot of the zones, it's not like you can just rifle through them as fast as you want. You do have to have some kind of a strategy and a methodology to the way you approach a zone. Otherwise, you're going to die. Let's see what a boost that gave me. So I'm 12% into this level. These 41 gray wolves aren't too bad to kill, really. AQ3? What's A3? I'm not familiar with that. Unless it's AQ3D. Oh. Just as I said, the wolves are not too bad. I wasn't paying attention. Almost died. Oh, nice. Gildy got a yellow, high level yellow hammer. Oh, wait, I'm not sure. I guess maybe I go up these steps to get to wherever this spot is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the pay to win games. Now, what do you guys think? So there's been a lot of talk lately of exploiters. You'll find people. Oh, these guys are all gonna be camped. It'll make it easier to go get this quest, I guess. But see, this is not fun to me. Like, I really want to experience this quest, and this is what I hate about sometimes games like this is that because people are now grinding, I don't get to experience that quest the way it's meant to be experienced. All I can do is run in and get the chest. I don't have to kill my way there, which isn't fun, unfortunately. Although that would have been a tough quest to finish by myself. Now I look at it, level 2s and level 3s. Skulls. But yeah, you see a lot of posts with people exploiting, you know, saw one guy in the cemetery. He went up the steps outside of the gate and he was just auto firing down at zombies, um, inside the gate. I mean, clearly that's cheating. It's an exploit. You see other people standing behind fences where mobs can't get to them and just hitting them with ranged attacks. Yeah, I honestly wish. I think they have this technology that the game uses. Some people are calling it sharding, channels or instances, but so I guess I go back to these guys. Where if too many people get in a zone, it spins up a new zone. Now, clearly, that's a point of trouble for some people because sometimes it can be hard to get into the right group. But I say, and I think they said, I think I heard that they have the ability to set that dial to whatever they want. They could say, okay, only 20 people are going to get into this zone, and then we're going to make a new one. I say turn that sucker down. Like, create the technology where it's better for groups to stay in their own zone, and then turn it down. Let 20 people share a zone, and that's it. Like, who cares? That way, those 20 people are gonna have the best experience because they're experiencing the game as it was intended. They're not fighting over farm spots. And then what you do is you let groups always go into a zone together. So if you've got it set, let's say you got it set for 32 people, right? That's 4 full 8-person groups, which actually right now nobody's doing an 8-person group because the experience doesn't make sense. But let's say they did that, and so a zone's got 30 people in it, and you've got a 6-person, group, and the zone limit is 32, and you try and zone into a zone with your group, and it would put you all in a new instance. Now you guys got a fresh instance just for yourself. And what they should do to keep people from jumping instances and killing all the names is put a time lock on the character every time they kill a name boss. So you kill the name Rat in Marienburg, and it locks you out from killing that rat for another 8 hours or something. That way it doesn't matter. Everybody can kind of get their own instance, not be fighting over mobs. There's no crowding, no fighting over camps. And was that the level? I think that's the high level wolf over here. I think a lot of people have maybe stopped camping these things because they're not. It's not. Yeah, so that's Fenhauer. A lot of them aren't dropping good loot right now. But yeah, that's what I would do if I was them. I mean, and then create some nice global chats to keep the community talking. But there's no reason why we need to have 100 people in Wastelands all fighting over the same thing when they have the technology to stop it. Laz, when you say when you're solo you don't get the experience, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, I like this spot. Level 40, 2 skulls. Oh, I see what you mean. If you've got too many people, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that one stream I did at Rats, I think I was level 26, and I happened to be in instance pretty much by myself for a little while, and I timed it. I was getting 7 to 8% experience every 3 minutes just doing that rat quest, going up and down. Yeah, and it's just not as fun. Even like going through Marienburg, when I was going through Marienburg, there was very few people in it, and it was just super fun. Like just creeping around, trying to find the path, trying to find which mobs to pull, watching their pathing, and just sometimes I'd make it real far, almost to the next travel spot, and then make a bad pull and have to run away, maybe die, and have to start over. I had to start back over and start killing the same mobs over again that I just went through. And I didn't mind it. I mean, that's how I grew up playing video games. I grew up playing games like, Mario Brothers on the original Nintendo. And I tell my kids this all the time when they get mad that they're not beating games like the first time they try. Games like Mario Brothers, the first one, you went 2 feet and you died to the first little Oompa guy that came through because you didn't know how to jump. You started over, tried it again, you went another 2 feet and died. Maybe the third time you jumped over him and jumped on top of him, went another 3 feet and died. By the time you cleared the first level of Mario, you probably died 100 times. So I'm used to that kind of gaming. I mean, that's how games used to be made. You fail, 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 succeed, fail, 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 succeed. So that's kind of how I felt Marienburg was trying to solo through it. You're learning it as you go. Sometimes you make a misstep and you have to go back to the beginning, start over. But eventually you get through it, and it's a much better end experience. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do on this. Oh, maybe I talk to this guy now. Oh, there's a guy way up there. Yep, you're right. Can't succeed without failure. I try to tell my kids that all the time. These aren't the greatest quests in the world, to be honest. Not exactly killing it in the experience. I think I just got 78 experience for that one. Disarm 5 poisonous chests. Oh, I probably should have done that before I left there. Let's go check. Let's check up here. Yeah, I should be live for a little bit. Not a terribly long time tonight, but yeah, definitely another 5 minutes. I still got the rest of my hot chocolate to drink. These guys don't die that much faster than they did before because my weapon is still level 28. It's really, really bad when your weapon is 11 levels too low. Gotta like that 3100 hit point heal though. Even going the right way here. This doesn't feel right. It's because it's not right. Oh, maybe it is. I guess I go up this ramp. No. No, not definitely. Witch hunters and engineers are really lacking. There is at least one witch hunter I saw in heathens in my regiment. Not mine, as in like I'm the leader or anything. I'm just in it. Um, that is level 40. Got a ninja slayer level 40. Shadow warriors. Engineer level 39. More warrior priest. A lot of warrior priests. Some archmages. Even archmages are not that common. It's really like shadow warriors and I don't really want to fight this guy either. Shadow warriors and warrior priests are for sure leading the way. And if you think about it, since the soft launch started, who had the most nerfs? Engineers and archmages. So they started out really popular. Everybody said they were overpowered. They got hit with the nerf bat, and instead of going subtle, they really crushed it on both of them. And now you don't see them being played a lot. And the witch hunter always seemed a little weak, but I grouped with one on a name boss yesterday, and they were doing a heck ton of damage. So I think it's one of those classes that if you grind through it, once you get to the end of it, you're going to be pretty happy with the end result. That was a pretty lame quest. Run all the way to get a map just to come back. Ooh, I'll take that 15,000 experience though. Finally, something good. So another 5%. Supposed to do anything with these crates? Picked up one supply box. Doesn't feel like that is anything. I'm gonna run over here and inspect this now. I do not. Let's see. He had a pistol, but I don't know if he went flourish or something else. Not sure. All I know is that as my little slow two-handed hammer was pinging away, I just saw damage flying by that was caused by him, because it was just him and I on the boss. I don't know if that chest is for anything or what. Just sitting there glowing, doesn't seem to do anything. Really cannot wait to get to level 40 to equip that hammer, because quite underpowered right now with this level 28 hammer. So, Betas, if you're still watching, how's the TAL server? Are you guys basically just, you guys fighting over name spawns, a lot of lock battles, things of that nature? Things getting toxic over there yet, I wonder? Well, the other item I did get, I did come yesterday. I don't think I was streaming when it happened, but I found the rat up. I ran up. There was a few people standing there, so I just ran in and started attacking. I don't know what they were waiting on, but maybe waiting on a group. One of the warrior priests that was standing there started to attack as well. I ended up getting the lock and then was able to solo it. That was yesterday when I was level 37, I think. And so they just kind of stood by hoping I would fail. Yeah, it's bad game design. I don't like it. People will call it competition, and all it's doing is keeping people from experiencing the game, in my opinion. So I'd like to see them do something different. Like I said, more instances that pop more regularly, and put timers on bosses, on the character. So you kill a boss, you just touch a boss in a day, and you're locked out of that boss for another day or 5 hours, whatever they want the respawn to be for you. That's how I think it should be handled. And there's just no unnecessary fighting over stuff. Yeah, and you know the fact that you start over, or it's not your first character, means you're gonna have a little bit of gold, maybe. You know, maybe you knew you were gonna. I mean, I may start a witch hunter just because I have a level 29 masterwork hammer in the bank. Witch hunter, not hammer. Level 29 masterwork witch hammer sword. Giant wolf. Whoa. What am I supposed to do on this quest? Disarm 5 poisonous chests. Oh, okay. So how many do I have left? Three left to find. Two left, rather. Yeah, if I play again, I will definitely play a high DPS class, because as much as I like the warrior priest and its survivability, the slowness of it is a little bit off-putting at times. I don't remember if I got that chest, but you see how I quest, right? Like, I could run right for that chest, but I also saw this wolf over here. I'm, you know, almost full energy, full health. Might as well fight something while I'm running. 564 experience per kill. You don't want to pass it by. even if it takes you a few swings. Let's try and hit him with a penitent strike and see what happens. 1567, very underwhelming when my 3 combo auto is doing about that. I feel like this is an easy spear mob, might as well kill it. Alright, so one more of these. Always fun to find the last one. Pack of wolves. I could probably... Oh, this is not a bad little camp spot for... See, I think they need to redo the group. Like, this would be a perfect camp spot for a duo. But it doesn't make sense to duo with a person, and when you could get the exact same experience per kill if you got with 5 other people and kill 6 times faster. They need to rework that group formula. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you go to a 7th person and they'll reduce the experience by like 75%. You can go from getting 350 experience a kill to getting 88 experience a kill. It's something I experienced earlier. I was with a group of 6. We were killing level 42 mobs, and I was getting 350 or so per kill. We added a 7th person. All of a sudden, I'm getting 88 per kill. No good. No good at all. Alright, so I'm just on the outskirts. There's one over there, but I don't know if... Let's kill this. I'm getting into like a level 39 area too. This would be good. Slowly crawled up to 15 people, but like I said, hopefully it's not. Hopefully people are playing the game. That's why they're not watching. Hopefully it's not because they've completely stopped playing the game and given up already. I've seen some reviews and some ratings on the game in the iStore or in the App Store where people are really crushing the game. Like there's just no mercy for the fact that it's a game that is going to be consistently upgraded in the future. But as we talked about, if they would have called it a beta, no problem. No problem with any of the bugs. No problem with any of the changes they're going to make. It's beta. Everything is free game. I've heard that from a couple people, betas. People will be grinding and watching my stream at the same time, or some of the other streams that people do. Yeah, bad reviews. But I mean, I think that's a decision they made. Good or bad, like they launched the game, they stuck to the deadline they said finally, and I think it was clear that there was things that were going to have to be changed, and it was very clear. The community made it very clear that the UI and especially the way groups worked needed a lot of work. Nobody knew about the instancing bugs because the instances were never triggered during the initial soft launches, as far as we know. Not until global, but they could have tested that. If they had the ability to turn instances down to as few people as they wanted, they could have turned it down to 10. They could have turned it down to 20, and they would have gotten all this feedback during some of the very early phases of soft launch. But it is still a good game. at its core. The mechanics are good. But reviews are funny, right? You get some people that'll give it a 1-star review because it has no crafting, right? And I, for one, I want crafting in the game because it makes it a more full-featured MMO. But I'm not going to knock a star off because I typically don't spend the time to craft. But it does make it a more well-rounded game and give you something to do besides just grinding experience. Whoops. Whoops. I'm going to die because I'm fiddling about here, changing. You see other reviews that are knocking the store already, you know, saying there's not enough in there. Well, either they're gonna add more, but you know that could be VR could have come out and said the store is not quite fully populated, you know, the way we want it, but we're putting a few items in there just to get you started. Know that more items will be added over time. That way people know that right up front. As soon as they visit the store, that message pops up, and then it's a little bit harder for them to write a review that says the store is empty. You know, they probably would anyway, but yeah, Biggie, I think they are. I think they are as well, working very hard to get these things fixed. I personally think the pace of the game is okay. People that can put a lot of time into it are going to get to max level a lot faster. But everybody can get on and do something in a 30-minute to an hour period, get something accomplished. Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. As soon as I'm in a game with auto, sometimes I'll try to stick it out and not use the auto, and then ultimately, if it almost feels like the game forces you to use the auto, and I turn it on, and then I'm like, yeah, this is not fun. This game's just playing for me. Might as well. Like as soon as you realize that the adventure or the point of the game is not to get to, let's say, level 50, because let's say that's the max level. As soon as you realize in a game that's not the point of the game, the point of the game is, well, the point of the game is just to get you to 50 as quick as possible so you start spending money rather than adventure your way and experience your way through the game to get to level 50. As soon as you realize that's the case in a game, then it's not for me long term. You see games like Crusaders of Light that have like, you know, when you join the game late, you have huge experience bonuses to catch up to the rest of the server. And I don't know. I just don't think those things are necessary. 600 gold. Holy cow. Yeah, it's a problem. The classes are not. I don't know why I was running here. Classes are not balanced at all in regards to the numbers of people playing classes. 1800 experience for that, and I think. Alright, what do I got left? I got some. At the main quest, return the equipment to Fraud the Alchemist. I guess you can't finish that. I don't need this in my quest log. Retrieve the brooch from the commander. This is a repeatable. I gotta stop picking it up. It's not worth doing over and over. Yeah, I mean, what level are you, Biggie? I mean, gold does start to stack up a little bit. I've got 195 right now. Few items that I could sell pretty easily. I just haven't put them in the auction house. What do I have to do to get to this place? Go up and around? Can't tell if this is back here or not. I don't remember. Oh, I feel like this is the... Oh, this is the commander up on the cliff. I should have known that because I camped him for like a whole level's worth of experience. Can I get out this way? Really? You're gonna trap me in? Maybe I can get out here. Nope. Oh yeah, Drake. The forest is brutal for gold. You know, most mobs don't drop it. They don't drop gear. But you start fighting like level, like the mobs we were fighting earlier. Just the trash that they drop sells for over gold sometimes. Plus they drop over a silver each. So when that starts happening, it does start to add up. And then you start to get, you know, weapons and whatnot that can sell for 100 gold or more, 50 to 100 gold, maybe more. It starts to add up. I mean, I like Warrior Priest Healer for solo play, but it really just depends what you're looking for. I think all classes ultimately can solo. It just depends on how fast they kill stuff and how long your downtime is. Warrior Priest Healer is slow at killing, but really good at taking on sometimes 3-4 mobs at once they get geared up. In the 30s is when they really start to be able to take on multiple mobs pretty easy because of their high armor. But there's a lot of classes that solo 1 and 2 skulls way better than the Warrior Priest because they basically one-shot them. I think the engineer's good. I think they may still have some balancing to do. I've only ever played the machine spec engineer with all the turrets, and I really enjoyed that class early on in beta. I think I played one up to level 24. Called it beta, but it was the soft launch. How are you liking the Witch Hunter? I think they're the sleeper class. I think they're the class that not many are playing right now because they're difficult to level. I think once they get to level they're already going to be good, and I feel like they're going to get balanced to get a little bit, and then all of a sudden, once they get balanced, people are going to flood to it. So I think you're on the right track. Keep grinding through with the Witch Hunter. I imagine on some of those boss fights that are long, once you start to... This must be... Is this up on this cliff? Once you start to stack up those marks, your autos must be doing sick damage. Yeah, and then, you know, if you want to be a tank, then go Warrior Priest tank. I don't think... I mean, I think the Slayer is okay, but I don't think it compares. That's my wounds in regards to stats. I've got a decent amount of wounds on some of my equipment, though. That's how I have 3,100 hit points. But some Warrior Priest tanks are running around, you know, 6-7K already. Where they have to eat 3 to 4 times just to fill up their hit points because there is no food vendor in Wastelands. So level 25 food, I believe, is the highest level that you get out of Marienburg. So I think that does it in Wastelands. I can't continue on with the main quest. And I have no more side quests. I just have to kill another witch elf. Which that was another thing I was going to do, is just check. See if there's a couple named witches. I don't know if I can solo them yet, but it's at least worth trying. Doubtful that it's up because it's pretty well farmed. So it normally is in this camp. And I'm not seeing it. I actually grinded a little bit at this spot yesterday. This Dark Elf Sorceress spawns super quick and wasn't too hard to kill. And actually, DPS class would probably make pretty short work of this lady here. I'm not sure exactly the timers. But yeah, you see how, and it's kind of weird because there's like 2 of them there. But you saw how fast that spawned. So if you've got a class, even a couple people could sit here and kill this thing. I think it spawns like in under 30 seconds each time. And then you only have to deal with one other ad. So this one skull witch elf will see you once in a while. See how fast it spawns again. Ooh, I almost spilled my drink. See, up again. I mean, that's a really fast respawn if you just wanted to sit here and camp this and hope that because it's a 3 skull, it has a better chance of dropping gear. Yeah, I mean, for a mobile game, I quite like the graphics. I think they've got a lot of optimization to do on the engine, especially I don't know how Android is besides playing on an emulator, but I'm playing on an iPad here, and if I'm in any kind of a populated area, this isn't too populated, but it starts to freeze up and lag. It's really quite annoying. I think I wanted to go north here. Wait, let's see, where am I? Yeah, I like the graphics. What kind of phone do you have? It runs really well on my iPhone 10, I think I have. Certainly not top of the line, but it runs pretty good. Yeah, this boss is not up either in this zone. See how hard these spiders are to kill now that I've leveled up. Kind of trying to find out where my next grind spot will be since I'm out of quests. This guy definitely doesn't... Oh, I'm overburdened. These guys definitely don't have a lot of armor. $518 experience, that's not too bad. This might be a really good grind spot. I just wish I had a better hammer. Looks like I'm already 25% in this level, which isn't too bad. About 30k of that, maybe a little bit more, came from quests, so that was some quick experience. Oh. Ah. Just drop some of this stuff. It's not going to be a lot of gold. You making a good amount of money merching? Some people are really good at that. I'm not a fan of it because it clearly boosts the prices of things for other people. But which server are you on? Am I gonna time out? It's very upset. Not upsetting, but unfortunate. Guilty calls for help on a boss, and you time out. Um, I don't know. I've always liked a paladin class in MMOs, heavy armor wearing class with some heals. I've always liked that play style. So whenever a game has something that seems to be down that path, I go ahead and play it. Archmage being more of very squishy, more high damage, not really in the fight so much as the warrior priest. They're kind of outside the fight. I also like to be able to solo, and I figured typically in games, um, heavy armor classes tend to be able to solo later in the game pretty easily, and then one with a heal should be able to really solo well. See if there's any see if there's any names up in this zone here. Yeah, I'm on that same server as well. Manan. The Archmage healer is pretty solid. Um, it's also not too heavily played on this server, to be honest, from what I've seen. Yeah, I mean, pretty much all the names are just constantly camped in this game. Very hard to find them up most of the time. Yeah, it does suck. It did seem very overpowered back then. I'm not sure. I think maybe first of all it wasn't a bug per se. They're saying that it was never intended to be a stun, and it was a little bit overpowered, but they probably should have waited until maybe the forest and waited to see how the class panned out before they took anything away. I think they did the same thing with the engineer. The engineer with their turrets looked really powerful. Not overly powered though in Ricksport, and so they decided, well, we don't want them to be that powerful, and so they completely nerfed the turrets. And then they did bring them back a little bit. No, there's a name, so let me just kill this guy here. Or maybe I can dump him. And no such luck, so How many of these guys I got on me? Being that guy's level 28, even if I kill him, I don't even know if I'll get loot from him. There are a lot of warrior priests. It sucks. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully the warrior priest population isn't in part because of me and my streams, because that's what I played the most and kind of did do some things that showed. I guess I'm starting that fight now. Showed how powerful they were. But I would have thought the slow style of the priest would have maybe turned some people off as well. Let's go down here and kind of get safe. Set up a rotation. Like I'll be able to kill this guy, but it's not like it's gonna take me a long time, you know. And I won't have to go through a ton of resources if I just use autos and my heal. Let him get one more hit. But then if I want to speed it up, I could try a little bit of Penitent Strike. But it's not really worth the mana, the energy. Yeah, it's funny that you say the Witch Hunter. I mean, I guess it does have some similar playstyles, but if you play the Shadow Warrior, to me, that's got the Shadow Warrior Blades is very roguelike in most games, and clearly the Shadow Warrior Bow is like the Ranger class of the game. Witch Hunter is just kind of unique. But I mean, this is the Warrior Priest class, you know, ability to solo stuff, but boring, you know. I'm like, all I'm doing is auto attacking. And you can't really do it without mana pots, at least I can't. But I'm sure a lot of classes couldn't solo this guy, even at level 39. Oh, we might not be sold there. Almost died. That's why I want to get my hit points up a little bit. Because right now my heal is healing almost my entire hit point bar, and that makes me get a little too close to the edge. Halfway into it now. I want to be a little less. I should just use some of these medium pots. I have so many medium pots. I wish I could trade the health ones in for energy. I'd even trade them in at like a 2-to-1 ratio with a vendor. That's a good idea for VR, right? Have a potion trading guy where you can trade them 2 for 1, take some out of the economy. That way people who have extra energy pots can trade them for health, and people who have extra health pots can trade them for energy. Since they are no trade, should be able to do something with them. Some of the 5 skull bosses, though, it depends on the level. Like I could solo the 5 skull bosses in the forest. But yeah, I'm still pretty under geared too. I mean, some of the people who have been 40 for a while, they're really starting to get good gear. And some of the rings that are in the game that you can get don't seem to be unique. So there's one ring in particular you get out of the wastelands off one of the bosses that is really ridiculous stats, and right now it's not unique, so people are getting them and equipping multiples of them. And so once you start to stack all that gear up, you're running around kind of like godlike. Sure, I get that heal off. I last like 1% of this guy. That'd be the worst time to die. This guy probably won't drop anything, I think, because of my level, which I also am not a fan of. So a white hammer. What else do I need to do to clean up my quests? I have... Oh, I need to go sell is what I need to do. What do I have the least of? Whoops. Need one more spot. Alright, I'm gonna go sell. But I'm gonna go to here to sell because I have a quest I gotta finish up. Rather than deleting it, I want to finish it in the forest. Get it off of my quest log. Yes, the Bastion. I'm not sure about, farming them. The problem with farming them is you're doing damage to your equipment. And you may need them. Depending on your class, you may need them. The real reason why I have a ton of health potions is because I'm a healer, right? So I don't need them. What I don't have a ton of, but they're starting to stack up a little bit, is mana pots, right? So I have 36 of the medium, 31 of the large. But if I'm fighting, like, if I'm soloing some kind of a named boss, I could go through 20 of those, depending on how hard the name boss is. So there's a level 38 tunic selling for 39 silver. I sold all the good stuff I had before I started streaming that was for over gold. This is all just junk now. Sometimes weapons sell for 50 silver for that weapon. Getting close to 200 gold. Got these Slayer gloves if anybody wants to buy them who's watching the stream. 15 weapon skill. Some Witch Hunter feet that I have to put in the auction house. Let me... top off of this. So this quest, gather the 5 vine creepers. I was running all around when I was this level and could not find the 5th vine. I think I was streaming at the time and I just gave up. Yeah, you gotta watch my early vids. That was the first couple weeks of the game, some of those, and so things have changed. stat-wise, ability-wise. I don't think I was putting too much points into accuracy early on. And now you have to start putting accuracy points in even in the early parts of the game. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Well, they're not even showing me on the map which area this thing is in. Yeah, I don't. Well, which spec are you? Are you a machine spec engineer or are you the rifle spec? Yeah, I try to stay from 1 to 15. I try and come out of the city with about 15 accuracy. I try to come out of the forest with 30 accuracy, so I'm kind of increasing them as needed. What I do is when I level, oh, I thought I saw one, but it was a butterfly. When I level, I don't put my points in right away. I go make sure I fight the next set of mobs that I'm going to need to fight at that level for questing and whatnot. And if I'm missing them a lot, then I put some points in accuracy until I stop missing. Oh, this is bugged? Oh, thank you. I would have ran around in this circle for another hour, probably. Well, in that case, I'm just going to abandon it. Just because I'm sick of seeing it. I wonder if the name bear is up. See what he's like to solo at this level. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but you get in a certain level above a mob, and I don't know if it completely stops you from getting the drop, but it's more rare. Yeah, he's up. Let's take him down. See if we'll test the, what am I? I'm 16 levels above. Still hits pretty hard. My damage is really weak with this hammer. Should have probably bought a gray hammer long ago. I just didn't want to give up the stats. Yeah, I don't agree with the locking. I don't agree with the whole name, the way they do the names at all. Like, there's so many different ways they could do them to make them more accessible by everybody in the game and make it more fun, to where you're not just having to constantly camp the bosses. Hit him with a Penitent Strike, see what that does. 2,800. Just doesn't seem worth it most of the time. Uses all that energy. Yeah, I mean they've got a lot of health. And that's, I mean, the Warrior Priest can solo a lot, but yeah, it takes a while to work them down. I just want to see if he drops anything. I mean, if he drops shoulders, I'll be able to sell him. Maybe be able to sell the Slayer piece, but I'm sure that's more common. Although he was up, I don't know how much people are killing this guy, to be honest. Back before the cap raise, you could never find this guy up. Yeah, I remember in the last phase, I was playing with another Warrior Priest healer and an Archmage healer, and we took him down pretty early, like when we were like level 25, 26, maybe even a little bit lower than that. We were on voice chat together, and we really had to coordinate the heals. I think I was tanking and aggro most of the time, and they coordinated their heals on me. And it was still close, but we were able to take that down. And that made it fun, right? Being able to get a group together and take it down early when you're not super powerful. And then you get a nice piece of gear that you can use. And if they could make it more common that that's what happens, then I think these named mini bosses would be cool. I don't really want to use another pot. There he goes. Let's see. So so that's not bad. So I still did get the drop. You know, I got the bear hide girdle. I don't know what that'll sell for, if anything. Would have rather got the Warrior Priest shoulders. Yeah, I can. Zrixrix. I'm not sure how you're pronouncing your name. How to pronounce your name at all. So this is what I've got stats wise. I've talked about it a lot. I didn't start out. It's kind of ended up as like a 3-1-1-1 where I'm going 3 weapon skill, 1 accuracy, 1 wounds, 1 focus. Didn't start out that way. I've just started to put more points into focus last couple levels. Not focus, wounds. Focus has been at 50 for a little while. I've got just the first 2 points in Penitent Strike, although I may end up respecking out of that completely. Got up to level 4 of the armor bonus. Level 5 with another 10% certainly wouldn't hurt. Healing Hand, my first 15 ability points went into Healing Hand. I would suggest that. That gets you 40% bonus and a 10-second cooldown reduction, so you're down to 20 seconds. I've also maxed Sigmar's Gift, so that gives me another 35% on my healing power. I've got first point into Protective Blessing, so that's a 35% bonus to my armor for 40 out of 60 seconds. Sigmar's Touch, I just have the first level. Haven't been doing that much grouping, so I didn't. This is a skill that when we get to level 50 and we're fighting the big level 50 bosses, like that giant Cyclops guy hits for like 8k on tanks, we'll need this maxed out. You're going to need to be hitting the tank with some 6, 7, 8K heals. And that's it. And then inventory wise, I've got this circlet that I just got, this level, which is pretty good. Level 35 purple chest. Not great because it's got a couple of resists. I don't really care for resists as much as like a tank does. Some of the tanks are getting up there in resist, 300, 400. A little bit of an underpowered weapon here, but I do like the accuracy. Some decent boots, but need an upgrade for sure. Not boots, legs. But yeah, boots are decent. 14 weapon skill, 14 focus, but low armor. This one I'll probably have for a little while just because it's got 3 of my main stats: wounds, focus, leadership. I'm getting a lot of my energy from that. Gloves definitely need replaced. Jewelry wise, this I'll have for a while. This is from the named rat. That needs to be replaced for sure. This is decent. Get a lot of energy from that. I did solo the skeleton. Found him up one time in the forest. This needs replaced. This needs replaced. And this needs replaced. So a lot of work to do on my jewelry. For sure. It's a lot to spend on a neck that you can't use yet. But people will do it. Got up to 22 people watching. That's pretty cool. Check this vendor, see. Yeah, I mean, this is all like, check this out. So this is all just silver gear. But look at this, level 50, 188 armor is the kind of armor you're gonna start to see on some things. A shield with 305 armor. This is all just the basic gear. Level 41 maul with 241 damage. Another this would be plus 72 on my armor. So armor is going to be through the roof as people start to get level 45 to 50 gear. There's a level 49 hammer green, 327 power. But all this stuff is like, that's 46 gold for that out of the shop. Super expensive stuff out of the shop. yeah, this is a little weird, like little lock battle going on in this area here between these two clans. Heathens and royalty. Weird thing is, the other clan is all shadow warriors and an archmage, and this area is for warrior priest rep and engineer rep. So really strange that they're coming in and doing this rather than just going to their spot. I want to see. I know one hit got a. Let's see what his new hammer is. 302 power. Oh, that is so nice. 34 focus, 8 accuracy, 32 wounds, 14 initiative. He'll be using that for a while. Alright guys, well I think I'm done streaming for the day. Not much else to show. I don't want to just sit and grind. Maybe I'll get back on over the next couple of days. I'll get to 40. See what there is to do at 40. So I'm going to end it here. But we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.